here in beautiful Danhouse Theater. It seems like it's for something a little extra special. Whether it's watch parties or the Colonel Choice Awards, our student athletes celebrate their years. I'm glad you're all here today. Today is like another one of those days, a little something special, and we're glad you're all here with us. We would like to thank a few people for being here today that help us in not only the baseball program, but across the university. If you could, I'm just going to acknowledge you, to call your name. CEO of Thibodeau Regional Medical System, Greg Stock. I'd like to point out an alum and the mayor of the city of Thibodeau, Kevin Claymore. A great friend of Nichols baseball and a Lafourche Parish School Board member, Henry LaFont. The president of the coaches committee, which, if you don't know what the coaches committee is, does so much for the Nichols baseball program, and without them, not as lot as possible. So David Miller. And lastly, our head coaches in attendance. One of the great things about Nichols, no one ever does anything by themselves, and it's a collective. We all help each other. So head coaches in attendance, thank you for as well. It is a special time for Nichols baseball, and I know you all are aware of that. The numerous accolades, championships, back-to-back regional appearances for the baseball program. But I mentioned earlier the Colonel Choice Awards. Less than 2 months ago, our baseball program was honored here for having the best GPA of all our men's teams. So extremely proud of the dedication and hard work of our student athletes to exemplify what it means to be a student athlete at the highest level. So today there's a lot to be excited about. And part of that excitement for our student athletes is getting to officially name and welcome Coach Brent Haring and his family to the Nichols and Bayou region. We're extremely excited for that. I would normally welcome the 6th president of Nichols State University, Dr. Jay Clune, to talk, but he has out of town attending to a family member that matter that happened unexpectedly, and he apologizes for not being able to be here today. He's another one of the great people on campus that make a lot of things possible, so we thank him as well. So instead, I'd like to welcome Nichols Vice President of Collegiate Athletics, Jonathan Terrell, to the stage.
Good morning. It is good morning. Good morning. What? It's dead, right? First, I just want to thank Dr. Clune for his continued faith in me to lead this department. It's exciting to have somebody who let you do exactly what you want to do and not micromanage you, and have enough faith in you to hire the next coaches to make decisions. So I want to thank him. I want to thank my wife for putting up with me for the last 2 weeks as we have to go and get a new head coach. If you live with me, you know that is a tough task because I'm usually always on the phone, not paying attention to anything. It's just part of the business. But thank you, Terry. I appreciate it putting up with me. In the house, our VP SA, Vice President of Student Affairs, Michelle Caruso. Thanks for coming, Doc. So I also want to thank Terry Bro, our VP of Finance and Administration. Terry holds all the money strings if y'all want to know what I get. It's him that does that. But thanks, Terry, for your support. And I want to thank the committee, Jen Schulte, our SWA and Assistant Athletic Director for Academics, Mr. Ray Blades, Mr. Tommy Meyer, and our chair, Coach Tim Rebo. So thank you all for putting up. We conducted a national search, and one thing that kept coming back to all of us, and mostly to me, was the importance of truly wanting this job and this opportunity and to be at Nichols State University. It's a player's game. We hear that often. And the one thing about the person that we chose is his recruiting background. We talk about Thibodeau, and we talk about how beautiful this place is. We talk about Nichols State University with championships won despite the odds. It's about the right fit, the right people. We have a great community and we love you hard, which makes it tough to leave this place. But with that, we're thrilled to introduce Brent Haring as our 14th head baseball coach at Nichols State University, a dedicated family man, a phenomenal recruiter, Brent brings 22 years of proven success to our program. In our search, we sought someone passionate about being at Nichols and committed to continuing the winning traditions established by our previous head coach. Brent's leadership, relentless work ethic, and vision for the future make us excited about the next chapter of Nichols baseball. We are confident that under his guidance, we will keep moving forward and achieving great success. We welcome him, his wife Mary, and their 2 children. Here it is, our next head baseball coach, Coach Brent.
Feel naked without a hat, so I appreciate JT doing that. Makes me feel a little more comfortable in my environment, I guess. I am thrilled to be here with you guys today. I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Clune, to our athletic director, JT. I was so impressed with him and the rest of the committee throughout this process, and so looking forward to the opportunity to grow and learn and under their leadership. I feel very lucky and very blessed. I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the 6 head coaches that I've worked for throughout my time. Coach McGahey for giving me my first opportunity. I worked for him twice. Coach Lancaster at Mount Olive College. Coach Turley, Southern Virginia University. Coach Mike Littlewood at Dixie State and BYU. Coach Pratt at BYU. And finally, Coach Jay Johnson at LSU. These guys have molded me and shaped me into the coach that I am. They've given me freedom and opportunity to make mistakes and to learn from them. And they've been great role models for what I want to be as a head coach. And I thank each of them. I want to thank all the other assistant coaches that I've worked alongside, staff members, and ultimately, I would like to thank the players that I've had the opportunity to coach over the last 22 years. As a coach, you get into this business because you want to make an impact in people's lives, and you want to influence them for good. And over 22 years, I've had an opportunity to coach a lot of players, and I hope that I've had an impact in their lives. The thing I know for sure is that each one of them have had a huge impact in mine. And have become big brothers to my kids and dear friends. And I've been overwhelmed by the text messages and phone calls that I received from former players. And I can't wait to get to know this group of players and this team. And for the impact that they're going to have in my life as well. I want to thank my family, my parents, my siblings, my aunties, my uncles, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews. There's a lot of us. And they have stood beside me throughout this journey every way, and they've been the best cheerleaders, and they've always pushed me, and I appreciate them for their love. The greatest title that I've ever had, I would say that being the head coach at Nichols State would be the second greatest title that I've ever had. But the greatest title that I've ever had is that of a dad. I have 2 young boys that aren't here. They're in Utah on vacation, and they're super excited to be here and be a part of this community and they play sports and they're fun. But the first question was if they could be bad boys, and so I'm grateful that they get to be a part of this, and I love them, and it's not easy being a coach's kid, but they handle it with grace, and so I'm super grateful for that. And then last, definitely not least, is my wife, my sweetheart, Mary. When I talked to JT about the press conference, I said, hey, we can do this next week. That'd be perfect. I'll have time to get my wife here. And I said, man, can we do it? Can we do it this day for this time and this reason? And I said, sure. I called my wife, and I mean, it was like, she would have broke out of hell to get here. And honestly, she's done that for the last 17 years. She's followed me. She's supported me. She's loved me all through it all. And I would be lying if I didn't say that she's really the reason I'm here, because there were tough days, as all you coaches know. There were tough days where I came home and said, you know what, I'm done, I don't want to do it anymore. And she would never let me quit. And so I thank her. I love her more than I'll ever be able to express. And so I just want to kind of share with you guys why Nichols stayed for me. And I've told this story a few times, and so maybe some of you may get tired of it, but in 2014, I was coaching at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, and we came to play Nicholls State. The year before, we came in and we played LSU at the box, and we played Southeastern. Coach Woods was a member of that team, and I want to thank him. He's sticking by my side, and can't express how grateful I am that he's going to stay here with us. But in 2014, we came to Nichols. And I'll never forget, on Thursday night, we came out, and you know, as you drive into town, and you can feel the community here. And the people came out to the games, and it was the first time, I think, in my career that I'd ever seen anything quite like a coach's committee. And man, those dudes sat down there on the first base side, and they gave it to us for the whole game. It was memorable because our starting pitcher threw a no-hitter that night. But those guys were incredible. And I was totally blown away by the support and just the community and the feeling that you feel at Radiant Field. And I remember going back to the hotel and telling the head coach, Coach Willwood, like, Coach, this place is awesome. This place is incredible. And of course, after the game, they're like, can we, you know, they're feeding us, and you know, we're so glad you're here. And I'm like, man, where were you? Like, an hour ago, you told me I was fat. But they made this thing special, and I'll never forget that. And I told my wife, this place is awesome. And it's always been on my radar ever since then. 3 years ago, when Coach Thibodeau left and they went through a coaching change, as JT will tell you, I applied. I tried hard to get it, and the timing wasn't right for me. And you guys brought in Coach Silva, who laid an incredible foundation for this program and for winning championships and for doing things the right way. And so I am super grateful that this time around it is my time, and I get to be here with you. I believe in this place, and I'm so grateful to be here. I want to just address to you community members and to you alumni that I really am truly excited to be here. And all I really want to do is were measured by wins and losses, and nobody's more competitive than me. My kids will tell you that. I don't let them beat me in anything. Winning is super important. Winning championships is the most important thing, but I want something that you guys can be proud of. And that will be my goal every day that I'm here. My vision of how we're going to accomplish that as a staff, and I've always believed this. Number one, you have to recruit really good players. Over my career, I've been fortunate enough to have done that. And we're working hard right now to get guys here that are going to be championship caliber players. One of the things that I pride myself in is over the years, players that I've coached, I've had over 100 drafted, and I've had over 10 playing in the major leagues. And of the 10, I think only one of those guys had ever been drafted before they showed up at college. And so we're going to go find kids that fly under the radar, that have the ability to play in the big leagues. And so that's number one. We got to get great players. Number two is once we get those players here, and once they're on campus, we're going to set the standard of championships and a championship standard, and then we're going to hold each other accountable to those standards. And I say hold each other because it's not just a coach holding a kid accountable. The players will hold us accountable as well. As the leaders, it is our responsibility to meet the standard and exceed the standard. And so we will be held to the exact same standard that we ask them to meet. We'll hold each other to it, and we'll become accountable to one another for that. And then the last piece is we will foster an environment that will make them believe that they can accomplish every goal and every dream that they dream of. We'll do that by putting them in competitive environments and practice. We'll do that by teaching them the mental skills to handle failure and to handle success, and we'll have a process that helps them work through those things. And as they do that, they'll be free to go out on the playing field and play to the best of their ability because they'll have worked that process. I spent the last year 70 miles north of here with Coach Johnson, who in my opinion is the best at doing that and the best communicator. And so I'm so excited to put into practice some of these things that I've learned over the last year with him. I just want to end by saying, go Colonels.
Any questions for Coach?
You've had national recruiting classes at BYU, and you just said you want to bring them to the radar players. How are you going to get accomplished that? What are your
Yeah, well, I believe that anybody that we get here on campus is going to feel what I felt. So, number one is we're going to work tirelessly to identify those players and then to get them here. And once we get them here, we'll let this place sell itself because this place is special. But I can promise you, Coach Woods and I were in the office about 25 minutes ago talking about players, and we were working hard to identify those players. So that's a great question.
I'll just shoot away. You can't ask me all to.
ago. One look around and you'll see I'm sitting in front of the tennis coach. You have the girls and boys basketball coach. I haven't seen the head football coach, but I guarantee you he's here.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. I guarantee you the cross country coach is here. So I hope you all the success. Wish you all the success in the world. And the soccer coach is here too, and I know the volleyball coach is here. But just the feel of those coaches at all these meetings that we go to, it's something special, and I hope you buy into that. It appears that you will. I wish you all the success. If you ever need anything from the city of Thibodeau, all you have to do is talk.
Thank you, Mayor.
Do you have anybody following you here? Any other players following you here from other school?
That's a fair question. Coach Johnson and I have been talking about a few players, coaches, different things. We are working hard to bring a championship caliber roster, and so yeah, all that is on the table, and we are working. I think I'm wearing Gabe out because I'm calling him at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and as soon as I get up. So yes, we will definitely have some players that have been around and that have been around me, I would assume. Yeah.
Your first season is going to be something because Colonel's coming back off of back-to-back Southern Conference tournaments and trips to the NCAA league. So how do you keep the pressure from getting to you that you feel like you have to make team success in your first season?
That's a really good question. You know, it's kind of goes back to what I talked about earlier as far as you know, practicing what we preach. We are going to put a team on the field. We're going to prepare them to be the best version of themselves, and then we're going to go out and we're going to play the games and we're going to trust the process. We're not going to go 56-0. I know that, but that would be the expectation. You know, there's going to be peaks and there's going to be valleys, and we're going to try to be super consistent with the kids and the players, and as we do that and we model that, then that will help them to manage those expectations. But I'm not a huge believer in the word pressure. Pressure is a self-perceived thing. Pressure is something you apply on yourself, typically. Now, there can be outside forms of pressure, but that's up to you to choose to allow that to affect you. So, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Coach is going to wear the number 33 on the sideline, and we'll take a picture, but here's his 33 game jersey. He is not the 33 head coach, he's the 14. So,
Step out this way. Thank
So I just really want to say thank you. Thank you for coming out, showing what Nichols community is about, what Thibodeau's about. Coach, this is, I mean, these people love the red and gray. I'll tell you a quick story. People want to talk about what separates people. He talks about wearing out Gabe. Gabe Woods, who will be retained, and I'm grateful for that. I'm glad that Gabe will still be here. Talk about faith. Coach was recruiting and didn't have the job. Was trying to work Gabe to death on the people that they would bring in. And I think that's so important to step out on that faith and to believe and bet on yourself that they're pretty much close to having a roster filled. And so grateful for you, Gabe. Thanks for all that you've done holding it together while we've been searching for a head coach. And Thanks for having me, trust me. So thank y'all again for coming out. I appreciate it. Media, I don't know if y'all want to do anything. Yeah, Coach, you can.